evening, lovely people, and also hello and good evening to the human elephant. If you missed earlier's stream, you missed an absolute blinder. Do go and check it out at some point over the weekend. We had a right giggle, so we did. But, it is 7 p.m. There is football at 8 p.m. I don't normally do a preview. I don't do a lot of previews. I do a lot of match reactions. I don't do a lot of previews. However, since it is Manchester United that is playing this evening, and to be fair, I spend more time talking about your teams than my own, I think, most of the time, I thought, why don't we go crazy on a Friday and do a match preview for a United game? To be fair, it's not really a match preview. We're going to talk about the match, but it is more of a pre-match build-up preview discussion thing. It's going to be very loose. And let's face it, most of my shows do not have particularly strong borders in terms of what we're going to talk about. But let me see. We have so many people in the house. We have Nathan, we have Guess, of course we have our Dave boy, Mama Flossie. Ray Ray is in the chat, breaking my little heart before a ball has even kicked. He thinks Bournemouth's going to win, lads. Bournemouth. Disgraceful Ray Ray. But we will allow it since it is you. Who else have we got? Chris is in the house. Streets is back to us. He's found it. The prodigal son has returned. Lovely to see you all again, for those of you that were here earlier, and lovely to see you today for those of you that were not. Please do remember to smash a like on the video on your way in. Get your votes in on the poll. I can't even read my own sentences. What will tonight's result be? A Bournemouth win, a draw, or a United win? So far, 100% of the votes have been for United, but I saw Ray. I know he said Bournemouth in there. I spotted him, so I did. But because I am doing this so close to the start of the match, we're able to look at the actual lineups instead of just those predicted ones. Because let's face it, sometimes they include players we already know definitely aren't going to play. So let's take a look. This is the Bournemouth lineup. So they have their Petrovic in goal, Jimenez, Hill, Senesi, Truffert, Scott, Christie, Ryan, Tavernier, Adley, my eyes are so bad, and of course Evan Nielsen. Now, I think somebody should probably inform Michael Carrick. He is allowed to change the starting lineup. He doesn't need to play the same lineup every single match. It's okay if somebody could just tell him that. That would be incredibly sensational, because the Manchester United lineup, shockingly enough, is Lawmans, Dallo, Yoro, Maguire, Shaw, Casemiro, Menu, Ahmad, Bruno, Cunha and Mbumo, which of course means Mazraoui is not starting, it's Dallo. It also means Sesko is not starting, it's Mbumo. Are we shocked? Yoro is starting again over heaven. I think I'm just going to have to give up that chase. Although to be fair to Yoro, he had a very good game in the last game. And of course, Luke Shaw has started every single match so far this season for Manchester United. I saw this yesterday. Incredible. Only not to be named in the England squad. It's the best, most consistent season he has had probably in about 10 years, and he doesn't get named for the England squad. I can imagine the level of frustration that man has is quite high today, so I hope he doesn't take it out on us. I hope he goes out and shows us what he's made of. Do you know what I mean? Let me see. Chris is leaving us in 30 minutes. Disgraceful. Absolutely disgraceful. If I call you Pratt, will you stay? But no, to be fair, Chris, I'm not going to be here for a long one because I need to do the stream. Well, I don't need to do the stream. I chose to do the stream because I couldn't go a whole evening without talking to you. Then I have to very quickly get the dinner out of the oven before the match. So I also will not be here probably past the next 30 minutes or so. So don't you worry about that. Streets is saying Clivert is injured. Mama Flossie is correct. Shame on you, Chris. Shame for shame. Just joking. Streets. I saw Streets saying a thing. Where'd it go? Sesko off the bench once again. We know what time it is. To be fair, Sesko has been performing incredibly well off the bench. He's been doing a really, really good job. The tactic has been working so far. It seems to be suiting him nicely. However, at some point, we are going to have to start easing him in, considering that Brian Mbeumo did not have the most fantastical game in the last match. I would have thought this might be a nice time to actually do it. I know there are those that are saying you would probably drop Ahmad out of that, move Mbeumo back, put Sesko in. Wouldn't totally hate that setup. But also, I think Ahmad, after having quite a difficult spell, had a quite good last game. The last game was quite good after a difficult spell. But I mean, neither of these things are Sesko's problem. He's coming on, he's performing. At some point, we are going to have to give him a start. What else are we saying? What else? Oh, I scrolled too far. I went too far. What are we doing? Bored Dave Boy is saying, I'm disappointed Mazraoui isn't playing, but Sesko does make an impact from the bench. And that's the thing. I'm also disappointed not to see Mazraoui because I don't understand why he's not starting over Dalot. Again, the last match, Dalot did have a good game. The whole defensive setup, including Lomans, had a really good game in the last match. But overall, I think Mazraoui is a better player than Dalot. And even when he plays worse, Mazraoui isn't getting in the team. So I find that quite frustrating. And I also agree, Sesko's doing really, really well off the bench. And for the first while, I was quite happy for him to be a sub. Now, though, I am starting to go, right. I just thought, look, Mbeumo was underwhelming last time. Give him a wee rest and let Sesko start. You need to reward the good performances. Otherwise, he's going to stop putting them in. Do you know what I mean? You can't be at that. But this is it, and hopefully they do the job. Let me see. Chris, I would have to get points for you to be able to deduct any. Let's slow our roll there for a minute. Oh, yeah, okay, we're talking about the L-man. I see that. Dave Boy Shaw injury tonight, broke a tear duct over England. I actually think, do you know what, Dave Boy, that's a brave shout. I know you're sort of a bit tongue-in-cheek, you're having a bit of a giggle there, but I have to say, I am very, very curious about Luke Shaw now. So Luke Shaw, this is the fittest he has ever been for Manchester United. He has never been fit. He has never started this many games. Certainly not in recent memory. Certainly not in the last 5 to 6 years. I'd say you could probably go back a little bit further. This is the most starts he has had for us. He has been fantastic. I fully 100% believe this is down to the international tournament because it always happens when there's an international tournament. He pulls it out of the bag magically. The fact that he hasn't been named in the squad, I wonder if he's going to stop pushing himself quite so hard. I wonder, not that I think he'll get injured on purpose, but you know when you feel a niggle, but you have the motivation of the summer tournament, you can sort of push your way through it, you're motivated. I do wonder if we're going to see him maybe not push through those niggles quite so much. What I am not going to be discussing on any stream is anybody's weight. Male, female, I don't care. I'm not going to be discussing people's weights at all. It's not something I'm going to be doing on the channel. Not my bag. Yes. Now, this is different. What Streets is saying, Amram's regime suited Luke Shaw. What it is, I think it suited a lot of the player. I think they were more tailor-made. I think they were fitter. I think they were more, look at Casemiro, the difference in him. He's running more. His engine lasts a bit longer. So while I'm not going to be discussing anybody's weight, because I think it's a bit distasteful, if I'm being totally honest with you, and I certainly wouldn't want it being done about me, I do think it's fair to say that Amram had the whole team much fitter, the whole team performing much better, the whole team a bit more athletic. So I do, look, maybe that'll make a difference. I do think Carrick's attitude to training and days off, I think, has made a difference, but I'll be very interested to see how Luke Shaw plays out the rest of the season. But this man right here, it was announced today. Let me see. Have I got it? Yeah, there we are. David Ornstein. Man United close to agreement with Kobbie Mainoo and Harry Maguire over new contracts. Proposed deal would keep 20-year-old midfielder at Manchester United until 2031 on improved terms. The 33-year-old defender has been offered a 1+1 year deal. Work is still needed, but talks are advanced. Now, two of those had did very different trajectories. So Kobbie Mainoo obviously was out of the team under Amram. He wasn't sure about signing a new contract, and he has his brother turning up wearing t-shirts at Old Trafford, which he apparently approved of. Now all of a sudden he's the best boy doing everything he's told, and he's a new contract well underway. Because this proposed deal, these negotiations have been ongoing for months now. So the fact that they're close to agreement doesn't exactly shock me. If they weren't at this point, I'd be starting to get a bit worried in terms of them being able to do their job at all. Harry Maguire at 31, we were looking for quite a while, according to the rumours, at moving him on. But I actually think the decision that Casemiro has taken, that he is definitely leaving in the summer, may have actually spurred this decision to offer Harry Maguire a 1+1 deal, because not only is he an aerial threat, not only is he a leader on the pitch, but he's an old head in the dressing room. He's, and not just experienced in terms of he's been there and, he existed through it. He actively participated in several eras, like over the years, all the different managers, all the things he's been through on a personal level, the different criticisms. So I think if you're going to lose Casemiro, you don't want to lose Harry Maguire as well. So the 1+1 doesn't bother me. I'm actually quite happy to see it. We already know, it was publicised many times, he had agreed to lower his wages. So to be honest, I'm more than happy to keep Harry for a 1+1. It doesn't bother me whatsoever. I actually think it's quite a good idea. And as I said, very early in the season, we are going to struggle for centre-backs. When we look at Leach still out injured, when we look at De Ligt, looks to be out for the rest of the season. When we look at Yarrow, who is still developing, is up and down, good games, bad games. Aidan Heaven, who I think is very good, but again is still developing. I think it's a good idea to keep Harry Maguire for now. Deal with kind of losing Casemiro and sorting the midfield out, and then let him go next season. I think that's fair enough. Streets is saying there he's a great role model. Nathan is saying the bigger challenge will be for them to keep themselves fit enough to play in the Champions League and the Premier League. Oh, 100%. That's going to be very, very difficult. Ray is saying, but Carrick is winning. Yeah, but do you know what? It's one thing winning in the short term, but you can't dismantle everything for the long term while you're winning. I've consistently said that. In fact, I've been saying that for weeks and weeks and weeks. Winning in the short term isn't the only thing that matters if it undoes the long term. If he can do it in the long term, great. I don't think he can. I think the things he's doing to win in the short term are actually going to damage us long term. So it's not for me. Streets is happy with the news. What else I was saying? Dave Boy is worried about De Ligt and Martinez, both injury prone. I have been banging this drum about Martinez since the World Cup. Since the World Cup, that's how long ago I was banging this drum about Martinez, and everybody told me I was mad and everybody gave out and nobody liked it because he's a very likeable character. He's a big personality in the dressing room. People like him, so they don't want to have that conversation. But the fact is, he is injury prone, and it doesn't matter how good he is when he's fit if he's never bloody fit. Look at Luke Shaw, look at Anthony Martial, look at the players over the years we've had who are very good players when they're fit. If they're not fit, there is no point. And as far as I'm concerned, Leisha, great personality, talented player, far too injury prone. He's not what we need. He is just not what we need. How can we build a team around someone when we don't know if they're going to play week to week? Just not for me. Now, in contrast, Matthias de Ligt, I wouldn't call him injury prone. He has had one very severe injury to his back. Now, the worry is what he will be like when he does come back, which at the moment is actually looking likely to be in pre-season for next season. But I mean, I'd be keeping an eye on him next season to see, has he fully recovered? Is he the player he was prior to that injury? But I mean, like Streets is saying there, Lissandro's too good to move on in your opinion. But I mean, how can he be too good when he's not playing? What value is he to us when he can't play? People said that for years about Luke Shaw. Best left back in the world, fantastic left back on his day, can beat anyone on his day, one of the best left backs in the world, very, very, very good, talented player, too good to move on. And look what happened. Anthony Martial, very, very, very talented player, one of the next best up and coming things, gonna be absolute superstar, sensational, but he couldn't stay fit. And we kept him because he was too good to move on. And look what happened at the end of that. Mason Mount. When Mason Mount plays, he's a very good player. He adds a lot to our team when he plays. Very talented. Cannot keep fit. How many of these players that are too good to move on are we going to keep when they can't get themselves on the pitch? And I'll be quite honest with you, I couldn't give a rat's behind how good they are if they're not fit regularly. Every player gets an injury sometimes, that's fine. But these are long-term, serious injuries where they're missing chunks of the season. They could be the love child of Cristiano Ronaldo and Messi, and it would make no difference to me if they can't get on the pitch, because it doesn't matter how good you are. If you can't play regularly, you're no good. You're no addition to us. So I understand people that are reluctant to want to move him on, but it makes no difference to me how good he is if he can't play. If he's not available, what does it matter how good he is? It's absolutely irrelevant. But look, I understand he's one of those because he's liked. He's a likeable person. He's a likeable character. People like him. So they don't want to move him on. But I mean, what's the point in keeping him if he's not playing? Nathan is saying, ultimately after a season or two, they will become a burden, just like Mendy and Alaba for us at Madrid. And that's what happens. But the thing is, we've already made this mistake. Luke Shaw is the perfect example of not wanting to do this again. Dave Boyd is saying they're both good players, but we need fit, reliable players. Mount is the same. Yeah, completely agree. Now, to be fair to Straits, he's not the only United fan with that opinion. The amount of United fans have absolutely lynched me, and that's not what Straits has done. Straits has been very nice about it. But I mean, the amount of United fans that have lynched me for saying that, Leisha shouldn't be moved on, he's too good. But I just can't see past it. If he can't be on the pitch, it doesn't matter how good he is. But, Streets is definitely not the only one that feels that way, 100%. I actually felt for a long time I was in the minority. It's starting to turn now a little bit, but for a long time I was in the minority on that one. And I love Leitch. I think he's a great player. I love his personality, the Butcher persona. It's very United. But if he can't be on the pitch, I just don't have the patience for it. We can't afford that. We don't have time for that. Flossie about De Ligt. If he has a weakness in his back, that has to be an ongoing problem. And to be fair, maybe it was and we didn't know about it. Because, I mean, we bought Rasmus Højlund. Rasmus Højlund was injured when we bought him, and I think that was something to do with his back. Harold, hello, is saying, I love Maguire. He is needed in the coming times. I very much agree with that. Nathan is saying, United needs to keep their core intact so that even if new players come, they don't lose out on their play style and lose in transition. And that's true, because we've done that too many times already. Huge is in the house saying, keeping Maguire will also make sure we won't buy another centre-back this summer. Maybe, but I also don't think that we're going to buy one anyway. I've been, like, you guys know this, I've been talking about a centre-back since the start of the season. I've actually been talking about it since last season, but on this channel I've been talking about it since the start of the season. And the amount of people that were like, no, we need a left back and we need midfielders and we need this and we need another striker and we need a winger and we don't need left backs or we don't need centre backs. And I'm like, we absolutely 100% do. My thing is, right, De Ligt, we don't know if, when he'll be back and how good he'll be. Leisha, when he's back, he's out again, back and out again, back and out again. Then we've two young men that are just developing. And then we've Harry. Do you know what I mean? So I don't think we can afford to get rid of him this summer. I just don't think we can afford to at all. I would like to think we would get another one in, but you're probably right. We probably do need to move some out before we can get more in, because 5 is a lot when you only play 2 at the back. The thing is, Harry wouldn't be the one I'd be moving on. Move on some of the ones that aren't playing for you. Harry has stepped up. Harry has played for us. Imagine if we didn't have Harry Maguire this season. We would have most of the season been playing with Aidan Heaven and Lenny Yoro as the 2 centre-backs. If you move Harry on, that's what we're playing with next season. Because I don't think we buy one anyway. So for me, you have to be looking at De Ligt and Leisha. And as much as I like them, as much as I think they're good players, we have to look at this. So yeah, that's where I'm at with it. I'm out of patience, to be honest. Whether I like the player or don't like the player, I'm out of patience with the nonsense. If they're not playing, if they're not adding, if they're not doing well, we don't need them. They're taking a spot from somebody else that could be doing better, that could be on the pitch, that could be fit, that could be helping us win games. Kobbie Mainoo. Now, I thought Harry Maguire was going to be the non-controversial one. But I'm not a massive fan of Kobbie Mainoo, and that's just where I'm at. I know there's a lot of people that are absolutely delighted about this. Fair play. I'm happy for you that you're happy. I didn't like his brother's behaviour. I didn't like that he approved of his brother's behaviour. I didn't like all the drama around it. I don't even think he's I think he's overrated. And that, I know, I'm probably going to get it, but I think he's overrated. I think he's a decent player. I'm not saying he's terrible. I think he's a decent player. That's what I think of him. I think he's good. I think he's decent. I don't think he's this amazing world-class superstar that that a lot of people seem to make out that he is. He struggled during periods under Ten Hag, before Amorim came anywhere near the club. Given what Amorim did in the dressing room with Rashford and Sancho and Garnacho and some of the others, never mind on the pitch, I trust what he was doing off the pitch. And I didn't like what Kobbie Mainoo's brother did with the t-shirt. I really, really didn't like it. We have given out about other players doing that. Rashford's brother, Garnacho's brother. I don't think it's then suddenly okay for Mainoo's brother. But if he signs this deal, I hope he stays. I hope he earns it. I hope he plays to the level that the contract deserves. That's what I want. But I'm actually happier about the Harry Maguire contract than the Mainoo one, if I'm being totally honest with you, is where I'm at. I know that's not the popular opinion. I know people are not going to be a big fan of that, but that's my opinion. You're welcome to yours. You're welcome to disagree once it's nicely, but I'm never gonna say something's my opinion if it's not, because I think it'll be unpopular. That's where I'm at with it. I'm always going to say what I actually think. It's just not in me to tell a lie just so people like me. I think he's overrated, and I would have sold him. But there we are. There's the bombshell for you. This is some match preview. We're just talking about the contracts. But they're both playing in the match. That's important. But let me see. What else are we saying? So Nathan there is saying, it's like, I have great potential, but I decide to lie on my sofa and eat pizza. Yeah, probably not going to help the situation. Streets is saying, we definitely will still sign another centre back. We tried hijacking the Jack Hay deal in January. I hope you're right, Streets. I hope we do sign another one, because we bloody need one. Huge is saying, if we lose Maguire and De Ligt isn't fit at the start of next season, we would have to buy a new centre back. So like, I'm glad people are starting to get on this centre back train. I am glad, because the more people talk about it, the more it might actually happen, you know? Just will it into existence. Nathan is saying, if we somehow progress in the Champions League, at least until the round of 16, then we get the Champions League money, and then we can buy one centre-back in the next winter transfer window. That is altogether hopeful. The most hopeful part of that is that our owners might do anything in a January transfer window, I'll be honest with you. They're not a fan of it. Huge is saying, I think if we get 2 top midfielders, Cobby will be a rotation piece. I agree with you, Lou. Okay, interesting. I wouldn't mind him as a rotation player. For me, he's not a starter. Nathan says, no hate. Ooh, they never start good. No hate, but Covey Manu requires a system, and he requires a good support from other teammates. I wish him well, but he is bang average. Lads, I was not expecting this much agreement in the chat. I was expecting to be lynched for this. Dave Boy is heading to the ground when he finishes Baby Sham. He might lose the stream, and he wishes everyone a great weekend. Have a fantastic weekend, enjoy the match, and watch out for the human elephant. But yeah, so the thing is, how might that impact the game? The fact is, these two guys have just or are close to signing new contracts. That might buy them if they're not quite over the line. A super good performance tonight might be just the little push to get the name on the dotted line. Do you know what I mean? It might be the little thing right at the end to just say, give me what I want. Obviously, Casemiro is just on an absolute madness at the minute. To be honest, Casemiro seems more determined to get Bruno Fernandes this assist record than Bruno Fernandes is. I think Casemiro has made it his mission for his last season to get Bruno Fernandes this assist record. He just seems completely determined to do it. Both of them had a very, very good game last game. Luke Shaw is the one I'll be watching, because I don't know how the announcement is going to affect him that he's not included in the squad. So I'll be interested to see that. Obviously, we are going to hope that Mbeumo is back to his wonderful self. And we do have our lovely Sesko to come on in the case that he's not. Now, that is not to say that Bournemouth are without danger. Bournemouth are a very good team. They're having a very decent season. Evan Nielsen is a problem. This man is a problem. And I feel like he is very liable to score. Obviously, hopefully, Sene Laumans will be equal to him. But I mean, they have some good players. Like Tavernier is having a good season. Ryan is doing well. They're having an overall good season. But Evan Nielsen, when he's on a good game, he's a really, really good player. So I'm definitely not writing Bournemouth off. I reckon we win, but I do reckon it's going to be a difficult game. So Evan Nielsen's the one I would be looking at amongst some of their other players. Streets is saying Casemiro has to be one of the best headers of the ball in Europe. 100%. He's very, very good. And Streets is also saying Ryan Ryan will be a threat. 100%. I've actually watched a few of Bournemouth's games this season. They seem to be on not at the same time as all the others. So they seem to be, do you know the way there's always a standalone game that's not played at the same time as the others? Bournemouth seems to have often drawn that slot this season. So I've actually seen quite a few of their matches. Nathan is saying the Brazilian tank still going strong. I hope he could stay one more season on Casemiro. But yeah, lads, I'm going to leave it there. It's just a short one this evening because obviously we do have the match coming up. I know everybody's going to be getting ready to go and watch the match, getting their drinks, their foods, the whole lot. We've gone through the lineups. We've had a little chat about the contracts. So yeah, I think that's everything I want to say on the match. But I just want to let you know I'm going to be away for the next few days. So there won't be any lives for the next few days. I am hoping to do some pre-records tonight after the match that I'll be able to put up as premieres for you over the next few days while away. That means you'll still have a live chat to be able to come in and have a little bit of a natter with each other. The poll, thank you, guess, the poll. I was forgetting the bloody poll. End the poll. So we should get the result now. What will tonight's result be? United win 83%. Bournemouth win 9% and a draw 8%. That feels like a bit of a landslide. Flossie with the good news. We have 474 teacups. Oh my God, guys, we are very, very, very close. We can almost touch 500. Let's go. We can do this. Yes, Ray. Get some predictions in. Actually, Jenny has a great idea there. Get your score predictions in the comments once the live has ended, because that way we'll have them to keep, which means that when we come back, whoever's right will be able to say, see, it's in the comments, it was me, I was correct. But yes, guys, I'm going to pre-record some content, so you'll still have a video tomorrow and Sunday. It will be one video instead of two. Obviously, there will be loads of football. You have the cup final, you have all the matches tomorrow, so you shouldn't miss me too much. Monday evening, I should be back Monday evening, depending how tired I am after the travelling. If I'm not exhausted Monday evening, I will do a live. If not, I might just do a quick pre-record for the results of the cup. But from Tuesday, everything will be back to normal. You won't even know I was gone. So, since I won't be live with you again for a few days, have a wonderful weekend. Enjoy your evening, enjoy all the football, enjoy the final. And yes, do keep your eye out, get your notifications on, because I will still have some videos going out. They just won't be live, but I have no doubt will be as chaotic as ever. No doubt about it. Have a good one, folks. Thank you for being here. Smash a like if you haven't done so already. And come on, United. Come on.